I remember, I pulled this out as $1,000 in cash, and I keep it as a reminder because it reminds me when I got into the gold business full time, which is 2008, 2009, and gold was trading at under $1,000. So 1 ounce of gold was trading there, and I remember people saying like, "Oh, it's like it's going to go back to 300 and this and that." And what they don't realize is that we've done something that's unprecedented since 2001. We've created, we're like around 1 trillion, 2 trillion in debt in 2001. We're at 35 trillion. We created $33 trillion in debt in 23 years. So if you do something that's unprecedented, you're not going to see this go up in value. This is going to go up in value.
Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. It's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Inspired Conversation. And today we're bringing back a friend and partner of the Inspired channel, because when we talk about abundance, when we talk about the things that matter to us, then Christine and I are super excited, and we have been for many years, about precious metals, gold and silver, and the role that they're playing presently and especially in the future. And I couldn't think of a better man to discuss this with than Collin Plume of Noble Gold Investments. Collin, it's great to see you again, sir.
Hey, always good to be on, Gene. Thanks for having me, and happy holidays to you and your family, and obviously everyone listening, and just hopefully everyone's healthy, and be careful how you make your turkey. I was watching the video of people trying to fry their turkey. I don't know if you've seen these videos, but I would say maybe don't do it. That would be my advice. I'm a cautious guy, money and everything, but seems a little. I watched this whole video of the fire department, these guys in full suits dropping it in, and then just the whole thing exploding. So yeah, I would just be cautious out there.
Collin, one of the craziest statistics that I've ever seen was that there are 400,000 Thanksgiving fires each year. Wow. Mainly caused by frying your turkey. So this has put everything in a completely new perspective.
That is a wild statistic. I didn't know that.
That is insane. But you said let's talk about the stuffing and then let's talk about the meat as we're approaching Thanksgiving here.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we're talking about precious metals, but you said let's talk about turkeys. Explain it to me, please.
Yeah, they came out. The American Farm Bureau Federation came out with their survey about Thanksgiving this year, and they say that, and I look at these statistics all the time in every category, and they say the average Thanksgiving meal is going to go down by 5% this year. Now it's up by over 20% over the last 5 years. They say it's going to go down this year. I don't totally buy it. They say it's going to be about $58 a person. So if you got a 10 person household, you're at like $580, $600 for a family. I don't know where that is. It seems like it's more than that. The turkeys that I've been looking at are much more expensive than they were last year. But they say the price is going down. And there's just, they analyze, I love the statistic. They say that increases in dinner rolls, cranberries, whipped cream, and cube stuffing. That's where the big increases are. They say turkey's down, sweet potatoes down, pumpkin pie mix is down. But I haven't seen that. I've been looking, and we're close to buying the turkey. But yeah, it's one of those things at the end of the year. It's like there's all these things added on for people, from the dinners and the family, and then then just holidays, buying gifts, the pressure of what do you buy, what do you spend? These are all things that people are dealing with right now, and I think that it's good to be cautious. It's good to show restraint, but yeah, it seems like to me that these statistics are not accurate this year. That it's gone up.
No,
and, I don't know what you're seeing out there, but I don't see it going down.
I honestly, to be quite honest, aside from the odd little correction, maybe that I haven't seen any downward trend on anything for that matter. And I know people are still, and people have been living paycheck to paycheck, or some even on credit card. We've seen it with monstrous debt. So, and there's this, Collin, there's this sort of hopium in the air since the election that everything's just going to magically change overnight. And I love optimism. Hopium, I'm not a big fan of, but we still have geopolitical huge tensions. We have a de-dollarization process. We have, inflation and economic struggles that has been going on for years. Can we take it back to sort of a little more of a realistic approach? What's happening in the economy, and how does it pertain to gold and silver in the upcoming months and years?
Yeah, I mean, so the country, we're still 35 trillion in debt. We're creating $1 trillion in debt every 90 days. So that hasn't changed. And you're right. There's this optimism with the election that happened, and a lot of people have been talking about Elon Musk. And as much as I like the rhetoric that's coming out with Musk, he's obviously personally involved. He has government contracts that he benefits from. He benefits from Doge, the crypto that he owns a lot of, and other cryptos that he owns. So I like the idea of becoming more efficient, but also at what cost? And I think that's the thing that I always am nervous about, just in terms of overall, is like, who's benefiting from a lot of these fundamental changes? And so to have someone that's so tied in the government that, has so many government contracts, SpaceX and so many other things, is it going to be like, yeah, let's be efficient here, but then let's spend money on going to space. We need more space programs. And, those things, those costs could far outweigh any of the other things that he potentially wants to do. So ultimately, I think what it is that we're still addicted to debt. We're still in a big debt bubble. You still want to really think about your expenses as you get to this time at the end of the year. And I also always recommend people at the end of the year to look at their 401ks or IRAs and see how it's performed, the true numbers of how it's performed, and then look at the next 2 to 3 years and see where you want to be, where you want to go, how much you have, how much exposure you have, and look at some of the options out there. And we do get a lot of people starting to get interested in precious metals near the end of the year because it's just a good time. Things settle down, maybe peel time off. And I think it's a great time to get our guides, talk to people about gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and see over the next few months if it's something that's really right for you. But it's good to get educated on alternative assets, because I think alternative assets are obviously where it's at. Cryptos have gone up considerably. Gold's up this year, almost 30% this year. We're sitting at 26, 25 today. Silver's sitting in the low 30s. So, these are real assets. These are things that are used day to day. So I think it's a really good time to look at, is it time to recalibrate? Do I feel comfortable? If you have a lot of money in equities, stock market's pretty close to an all-time high. Do I feel comfortable there? These are all the things that you really have to start thinking about. And ultimately, the thing I always say is that you are responsible for your family's future and your finances. There's no stockbrokers. Everybody is in it for themselves at this point. And so you have to be responsible and look at what you have and where the future is going and what you're going to invest, and just make sure that you feel good about the exposure that you have in whatever market it is, and make sure that you're diversified, and it really makes, and I'd say that for people that are benefiting from some of this crypto wave, maybe take some profit off the table, get into some safe assets. It's always good to hedge your bet. That's why hedge funds were created, to hedge your bet. They weren't just created for unbelievable growth. They're also created to protect the downside of your investments too. So I think it's a good time to look at those things, and also realize, as you kind of mentioned, there's a lot of optimism, but there's actually nothing has really happened that's going to make our economy better or our future better at this point. It's all just appointees that may get appointed and big ideas at this point.
Well, and I have to say this, Collin, you might have heard it. Our almost 15-year-old golden retriever is also chiming in every now and then.
Yeah.
He's having a little trouble hearing, so I apologize for that. But he's right here. There's one thing, Collin, that is very interesting with looking at gold and silver and precious metals, but especially gold and silver, is that we have gone through such tremendous changes as a human family over hundreds and thousands of years, and we're in the year 2024. Crypto's on a rise, a technological revolution, but gold, for example, is not at all, sort of falling away. As a matter of fact, it's becoming more and more important again. Silver, for example, and others are becoming more important, even with the emerging technologies. So it's not just a safe haven, for example. A lot of people think of gold as just a security. It's also an investment strategy really for the future as the prices are rising, as demand is rising. Can you talk a little bit about the next years and what we can expect in with gold and silver?
Well, I think one true indicator of the economy, there's some caution, is what's happening with the 10-year, which also affects 30-year mortgage. With the Fed coming out and basically dropping rates twice, 50 basis points and then 25 basis points, everybody thought 30-year mortgage dropped. The reason it hasn't is because the Fed doesn't actually control the 10-year. The 10-year is what's tied to what the 30-year mortgage is. That's what the banks are dealing with. And the 10-year has actually gone up, which means that there is a lot of money out there that is very concerned and isn't dumping all their money into equities, that they're actually putting money in the 10-year because they're concerned about what's happening. They're going in, the 10-year is one of your safe play. So there is a lot of money out there that doesn't feel really great about where the economy is going, and then they're just really dumping money into a very safe haven investment. And I think that bodes well for gold, because I think what they're saying is that the Fed dropped rates, but they weren't able to affect the mortgage market. The bond market actually went up. There was demand there. There's more people buying than selling. That's why it was going up. And so that sort of leads me to believe is that the Fed's not able to just quickly fix things the way that they used to be able to do. They used to be able to, if they drop rates like they did, I remember every rate drop they've done, over the last 30, 40 years, you would typically see the 10-year come back and pull back, and you'd see the 30-year, and it didn't do that. And that means they're really in trouble. That means that we're having a lot of problems, and the mortgage rates and the real estate market is absolutely feeling this sort of shift that they can't just fix and raise and pull rates the way that they used to. And I think that bodes well for the precious metals, the tangible investment market, is they're basically saying things aren't getting better. We're still going to go into safe haven investments. And I think that's why, gold and silver have really done well. And that's why, you look at countries that are buying gold right now. Russia is on a spree that we've never seen. They're continuing to buy. They want to grow their reserves by 60% this year. So they're really actively buying. Poland, another country, biggest buyer of gold this year. The UAE is buying gold. So you have all these countries buying gold. You have them divesting away from treasuries and the dollar. So you see the biggest buyers in the world continue to buy gold. And then obviously I think silver, is completely undervalued. Here's our a kilo of silver bars, which we've sold. I think we've sold more of almost any company in the country of these. People love these kilo bars. Great way to get a lot of silver for a good price. So I think, you have to look at where, I would say be cautious of where a lot of people are saying and where a lot of the money is going, and really just look at the trading. And I think the trading is going into physical investments. They're going in the 10-year because they're nervous. So as much as there is some things that are frothy and have gone up, there's a lot of the safe money going into these, the stable investments, and they're definitely moving away from, this kind of stuff. I remember, I pulled this out as $1,000 in cash, and I keep it as a reminder because it reminds me when I got into the gold business full time, which is 2008, 2009, and gold was trading at under $1,000. So 1 ounce of gold was trading there. And I remember people saying like, oh, it's like, it's going to go back to 300 and this and that. And what they don't realize is that we've done something that's unprecedented since 2001. We've created, we're like around 1 trillion, 2 trillion in debt in 2001. We're at 35 trillion. We created $33 trillion in debt in 23 years. So if you do something that's unprecedented, you're not going to see this go up in value. This is going to go up in value, and it has. And so I always keep these two things together as a reminder that basically the Fed, Congress, and everyone in government screwed the whole thing up. They deflated this down to nothing. Even with the banks paying 4 or 5%, it doesn't matter. Gold's still completely outpacing those things, because until we get our debts in order, till we stop spending so much money, these things are never going to align. Again, they're never going to come back to earth, and gold's going to always just continue to rise. So it's just a reminder for me, because at that time, 2009, what is it, 15 years ago, I was, in my early 30s, still hadn't seen these kind of markets, but we've created something, Gene, that I think that we just can't get out of at this point. And a lot of people are talking about ending the Fed. That's like been a big conversation. And I just say, if you look at ending the Fed, if you did it right now, the thing that would happen would be worse. The thing that would happen is that the control of the Federal Reserve would go back to Congress. And they would actually be able to dictate. So as much as everybody talks about that, they'd have to have another party or someone else make a decision about the monetary policy in this country, because if it goes back to Congress, I think it's going to be worse than it is today, if you really think it all the way through. So as much as I like the idea and I love Ron Paul and I love it, you can't just say end the Fed and that's it. You'd have to do something else, because the control of who controls the Fed is Congress. They're the ones that voted in Jerome Powell. They renewed him till 2026. You have to have another strategy in place to protect us from, Congress just spending out of control and us going to $100 trillion in debt, which, by the way, over the next few years, we probably will get there. We'll be the laughing stock of the whole world at that point. So what are people doing now? Looking at their finances, looking at their 401ks, it's a good time to get your head out of the sand and really take stock of what you have and where things are going to go, and make sure that you're protected.
Collin, I had a feeling that I was talking to a fellow libertarian there, and you just confirmed that. I love Ron Paul. I think he was the best president that never was.
Right.
But when it comes to the opportunities, like I said, we've been continually investing in gold and silver, and that's probably the asset that we feel greatest about. And we have some other assets, but that's the one that's, it's sort of a peace of mind thing for us. How can people take advantage midterm, short-term, midterm, and long-term? Because people always think of, I can only buy gold and store it somewhere, but there are all the instruments that help them save taxes for their retirements are also available in gold as an asset. So can you tell us a little bit more about how people can take advantage of these trends?
Yeah, any IRA you can roll into physical gold and silver. It's not a stock, it's not a fund, it's this stuff. It's the real stuff that you own. It is stored in a segregated storage facility, but you own it. It's in your name. So you can own these things. When you retire, you can take possession of these things. We just help you get there. We help you do it. We're there for the whole ride. So we help you with the paperwork. We help you get set up. If you need to sell, you can sell back to us. You want to get it shipped. We do all that for you. That's part of our service that we offer, that will stay on your account for the life of the account. Any old 401k, TSPs are eligible. Any account that you left an employer, you can move into. And, those people that have been doing that with us, they're so happy right now, because if you think about it, if you're 75 and you rolled it into gold, 2-3 years ago, and now you need some of that money to live on, you're selling back that gold has grown tax-free over all this time, and you're really able to take advantage of it. So doing it in an IRA is a great way to do it. People have really protected their assets that way. Also, our storage is flat. So, people that have grown their accounts significantly, it's not like as the cost of the metal has gone up that their fee has gone up. It's a flat fee. We negotiated a flat segregated storage fee, which people love. So you don't have to worry about if your account goes up a lot, you're going to get charged more fees, which basically that's the problem with every 401k, is that people don't realize that 1 to 3% they're charging as your account goes up, they're just charging you more in fees. People are eating away at fees. You're looking at, thousands and thousands of dollars of fees, and that money really compounds over time. So with us, it's a flat amount. You buy the metal from us, you store it, you need to sell it, we'll buy it back. And we sell bullion, coins, and bars. And that's really where we built our reputation, is educating people that this is the stuff you want to own: bars of gold and silver. You want to stay away from numismatic coins. A lot of my competitors are selling numismatic coins. And I can tell you this, and this is the truth, is that a lot of people bought from some of our competitors over the last few years. And even though gold has gone up, I've been talking to people that have not had any profit with some of my competitors because they got overcharged. So you want it before you buy, you really want to be careful. Read the shipping and transaction agreements. I've seen commissions up to 60, 70% in our space. So you got to be careful before you make a decision. Call us. We'll go through the contracts. We'll go through our contract. We'll go through all this stuff with you before. And I want to know the number, and I'm trying to calculate, but I think we've saved people like billions of dollars in fees if you really did all the math just in terms of transactions, because we've done over $2 billion in sales, and we've helped people avoid a lot of these competitors. So I would just say, take a second, look at it, give us a call, let us talk to you before you make a purchase. You just want to avoid some of these rare coins. Now, there's some rare coins that are going to go up that are good, but it's a very small amount, and you want to be careful who you're doing business with. But ultimately, we do business on the phone. We do people to people. So if people want to get educated on getting it shipped or doing an IRA or anything in that genre, we're here to help. And then also my silver book, which is called Silver is the New Oil, will be ready in the next 2 to 3 weeks, so people can get access to that literature also, and really learn. They can dive into the details about silver, and I can really tell you why I think silver is really going to take over oil. It's going to be the next revolution in terms of an industrial metal. I think it's something that's going to blow people's minds, and I back that up in my book and statistics. So I'd be happy to get people information about that. So it's a good time to get educated, spend some time with family, but also really learn about something that we do, and talk to people. If you just want to talk and ask questions over the phone, that's really what we specialize in.
I'm even gravitating more towards silver than gold. We keep it balanced, but silver is where my heart's at, really. So I love where this is going, and I think it's extremely undervalued still as to where it's going to be. But Collin, you said something that I think is very important. Number one, this is a family-owned business, Noble Gold. This is you're not dealing with some anonymous figure. You are the founder. You're there, and what is also different is, this is what people have been saying. I didn't know anything about the subject. I'm new to this. I was unsure. I gave them a call, and I just had a really good conversation, and somebody walked me through it, explained things to me. I didn't feel pressured. I just felt like I could ask questions, and somebody guided me through the process. So this is also something that you don't see and that you pride yourself on, to have this human experience.
Absolutely.
In an AI world, how important is that to you, to have this family feel to everything?
Yeah, no, it is. And I think that's what people want. I know that, as banks go away from having people, and, the less they just want you to do everything digitally. I still respect, a bank, and I have few banking relationships that are personal, and I won't do business with a bank that I can't communicate with somebody. And I think your investment, your retirement are equally as important. And I think that the thing that I've learned is just how to treat people. We focus on the customer service and taking time with people. And I think that's the thing that I pride myself, and that's the thing that at the end of the year that I'm really thankful for is not only our clients, but our staff that's really like patient and taking time. And, from every person, from the person that ships out the free coins, who takes the job so serious, and all of our shipping department, they really make sure. We've been so lucky. Shipments have been like spot on, if not on time, early. Like, we call client, we give them heads up when the packages are coming. Our success rate is unbelievable for the industry. Like, I talk to people in the industry that, they have 1% to 2% where packages get lost. It's not, we don't have any of those things happening. They get there, we follow up. So you don't have to worry about it. That's the thing that I urge people, is be careful. These are large sums of money you don't want to like not get the package or not. And we pride ourselves on those things. Or if we're storing it, it's segregated, it's insured. I mean, that's the thing that the people they get caught up in stuff. They get caught up in the emotion. Oh, I'm just going to go buy. I'm sure they'll ship. It'll be fine. Well, it's not always fine. The product is not always what they say it's going to be. You see these crypto exchanges that are going out of business left, right, and center, or they get hacked, or all these things happen. At the end of the day, it's your money, and so you want to be protected. So we take it really serious. So I'm really thankful for our staff that they've really taken it to another level this year. And I think if you read our reviews, you'll see that every client is important. Whatever dollar amount, you're not going to feel like it matters to us. We cherish you, and we appreciate you. And I think that's the thing that, Gene, that I'm so blessed to have a group of people around me that think in the same way I do, that they really realize it's a big commitment for everybody, and we're working together. And I think that's the thing that I feel the most excited about, is just the growth of us as a company, and what we've done and how we've protected people and done it in a way that feels really good. And so we continue to do that. We will do that. So that's the thing that I'm most proud of and most thankful for as we're coming into Thanksgiving.
I love that. And I'm thankful for that too, Collin. And we pride ourselves on, first off, only recommending to our wonderful audience the things that we do and we use ourselves and that we believe in, and the second thing is that we work with family-owned American businesses, not big conglomerates, not some big international anonymous company, and people that stand with their name for what they offer and deliver. So I really appreciate our partnership. I'm very thankful for it. And I want to invite people to go over to noblegoldinvestments.com, look around, or give them a call. You can do both. There's a guide on there that you can download, read through it, just familiarize yourself with the subject. We actually highly recommend an investment in whatever form you feel comfortable in precious metals, as it's been a really great investment for us. And Collin, thank you so much for your time, your expertise, and everything you guys do.
Thanks, Shane. Appreciate it. Happy holidays to you and your family, and see you. Hopefully get to see you before the end of the year.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. And Inspired Tribe, happy Thanksgiving to you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will be back with you again very, very soon.